In the past few years, we've seen several insurance companies collapse under the weight of severe hurricane seasons and severe flooding. An LSU study found that 1 in 5 Louisiana homeowners are without insurance. I spoke with Jim Donnellan, the Louisiana Insurance Commissioner, about how this will impact future homeowners in Louisiana.
Well, I have not seen the study that documented the percentage, but assuming that to be accurate, and I have no reason to question it, it would be for two reasons. One is the failures that we experienced in the aftermath of Laura, Delta, Zeta, and Ida over a 13-month period of time in the years 2020 and 2021. Fortuitously, we were spared any direct hits in 2022, but unfortunately, at the end of the hurricane season, our neighbors in Florida experienced what has now become the worst hurricane season from a paid loss point of view, finally breaking our record that we set with Hurricane Katrina some in 2005, some 15 years earlier. So 5 companies failed that were domiciled in Florida. 3 failed that were domiciled here in Louisiana as a result of their hurricane losses for which they had inadequately reinsured their risk in not Laura, Delta, and Zeta in 2020, and then a final company, 9th company, though headquartered in Louisiana on Parger Street in New Orleans, chose to redomesticate for oversight purposes to the District of Columbia, where they ultimately failed as well. So, combination of the crisis in Florida and the hurricanes in Louisiana led to companies failing in many cases and withdrawing or pausing writing homeowners business in our state.
Well, not having homeowners insurance is a really vulnerable place to be in, especially in Louisiana, especially right now because it's hurricane season.
Absolutely.
Can we expect more people to lose their insurance as time goes on?
I don't think so. If we're continued to be blessed, as is predicted by the experts at Colorado State University and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, where they are predicting a typical or normal hurricane season, or maybe even slightly lower than normal. If we can depopulate citizens, as we did after Katrina, that reduces the cost of their reinsurance and therefore the price of policies for citizens, policyholders. Those in the private sector, these new to our market and now stimulated, 8 companies took incentive grant money last month, totaling $42 million. Of those 8, 5 of them are new to our market, writing homeowners insurance. 3 are here committed to writing more, as the law requires. And with that, the folks in 61 of our 64 parishes can get coverage from these 8 companies today. 3 of the parishes, St. Tammany, Orleans, and Jefferson, the companies, the 3 that are already writing in Louisiana, are at their capacity for coverage in those parishes, so they're not writing new business in those 3 parishes. The new to our state companies, however, are writing new business in those parishes.
Well, do you think that this in any way would impact the housing market just because, if
Sure.
nobody has homeowners insurance?
No doubt about it. This is a major factor in the ability to develop more housing, to make it more affordable, and to keep the value of that housing market up. Typically, for the typical family in Louisiana, the biggest investment in their portfolio of savings and assets is the equity in their home. And with increasing flood insurance costs from the federal government, that's going up dramatically, increasing homeowners insurance costs in the aftermath of the 2 crises we just discussed. Those values of those homes are dropping because it's expensive to own a home in Louisiana these days.
So we've talked about some pretty scary things.
No doubt.
You've mentioned some of the solutions, but I just wanted you to reiterate them
Sure.
clearly. I mean, what are the solutions?
Incentive program is the best way to address the immediate crisis that we're in the midst of as we speak. The legislature a year ago also passed legislation to create, copied from Alabama, the long-term solution to our problem. As my colleague next door in Mississippi is always saying, we can live on the coast in his state and ours if we build high enough and strong enough. And fortified homes is the answer to the strong enough need for the long term. And Alabama's done it extremely successful. We, in the current budget for the ongoing session that will finish today, have $50 million budgeted to start issuing grants of between $2 million and $10 million to folks who will upgrade their roof and maybe other windows and doors and connections to the roof to get to certified standard of protection that will enhance our market, making it more attractive, as Alabama has done, for insurers to come write business, even in coastal Louisiana.
All right, so we've got some solutions. Some
We do.
options that we can look at.
We do, and I am optimistic that we will get through this, in part because of lessons learned 15 years ago with Katrina and Rita, and also in part because of what we've seen done in other states.